Hi, this is Mark Hosky with Control Engineering and CFV Media and Technology. I'm here at ScadaFest with experts in VT SCADA, and we're going to talk about what's going on and trends and technologies in supervisory control and data acquisition.
Hello, and today I'm here with
Glenn Wadden, President of Trihedral Engineering.
Barry Baker, Vice President of Trihedral Engineering.
Thank you. I'm very pleased to be able to talk about trends in supervisory control and data acquisition. How has the integration of computer technology and networking influenced the evolution of SCADA systems?
Well, absolutely. It's fundamental. SCADA needs computers, needs networking. Certainly when we started out, computers were the new thing. It really made a difference between the way it used to be done. And I remember when I started, people used to drive to sites, turn pumps on and off. The computers really made the difference in that it became much more of an automated type of thing. Like you see evolutionary with cars, airplanes, boats. Factories are the same thing, they're becoming more automated. Computers are the key to that. Networking makes it all possible to manage things remotely, scale up by adding multiple computers all together, so it's fundamental. So that's what SCADA really is.
Can you discuss some industry-specific challenges that SCADA systems have helped address or mitigate over the years?
Certainly remote access has been a big issue. It used to be, again, that operators used to sit in front of a computer for many hours at a time, and all day, 24 hours a day. The remote access is key to freeing up people's time to go look at more important things, do their jobs in their offices rather than in a control room. So generally, the world has become a much better place for automation.
How has the adoption of SCADA systems affected the efficiency, reliability, and safety of critical infrastructure in various sectors?
You want to take that one?
Sure. So again, as Glenn mentioned, the big thing now is that the alarming is so much more advanced in critical sectors in terms of things such as ISA 18.2 to reduce the operator's fatigue on alarms. You've got the remote access to alarming on your phones, your cell phones. Networking is ambiguous besides data collection. It's also to the delivery to the operators. So in critical infrastructure, well, you still have the large control rooms with the large displays, but again, their workforce and their key personnel are dispersed. So having a SCADA system with extensive networking really aids in that.
Are there any particular industries or sectors that have seen a transformative impact from the integration of SCADA technologies?
Well, as Glenn mentioned, the water wastewater sector, they used to do things with radios quite extensively, and we sort of smile as we record and do things, almost everything on our cell phones nowadays, but the technology in delivery via cell phone cellular networks has really transformed, I think, the water wastewater industry in particular. So a lot of the operators now respond remotely. That's one of the biggest features that operators like nowadays is remote accessibility and annunciation and connection with their system via their cell phone, the same way we like to interact with in our personal lives.
In what ways do you anticipate SCADA systems evolving to meet the demands of increasing complex and interconnected industrial processes?
Well, certainly, SCADA is going to evolve. The communications has been a big thing to move the industry forward. So we see that as not only the cell phone technology, but you also see that as the computing power increases and it becomes more dispersed, we're going to see things being taken over by the computer that generally have been done by humans, even in the data analytic kind of mode. We talked a little bit about alarms being more capable and filtered out. We're going to see some more of the automation and the analytics and the deep dive, even into AI. So AI is going to be able to look at the data and do things that only expert operators were able to do in the past. So it's an evolving field. And I think the ultimate is that the display, the computer graphic of what's going on the screen is becoming less important in the overall decision that comes out of the computer, because the computer is doing more and more of the job, freeing up people to do the bigger picture activities.
So, in what ways do you anticipate What challenges, particularly in terms of cybersecurity, do you foresee as SCADA systems continue to evolve and integrate with other technologies?
Yes, cybersecurity is a huge influence on the industry. Unfortunately, we're in an industry which is mission critical. It has a huge impact on the world, and it's a wonderful place to be. However, there's some bad actors out there that are really bent on trying to either put money in their own pocket at the expense of others through extortion, or even worse, there are cyber warfare type of activities that are occurring even now, that Trojan horses are being injected into some critical infrastructure systems that are ready to be deployed. They're being discovered, just as people look for malicious actors, but some are just lying dormant, waiting for something to be triggered from the outside that are not interested in the money. They're interested in destroying. So that's a world that is really needs to be taken seriously.
And for us, we had to adopt and work with security standards, IEC 62443 4-1 secure development. And that was, we always had secure development, but there's now a requirement that you follow it in a mandated and a documented method, reviewed and audited by others, and that's going to become more and more norm in the industry. We do work in the large power infrastructure, and NERC SIP and SIP questionnaires, I've filled out a couple of them in the last few months. They're pretty standard now. They're actually, and they're enforced. Purchasing departments cannot do business with you unless you pass those criteria. It's now a firm, locked gate that you must pass to get through.
How can the industry address the growing need for interoperability among SCADA systems and devices and systems?
Open standards such as OPC have been around for quite some time. You always have companies that try and customize those to their advantage, but I think the biggest thing is the consultants and the end users demanding an interoperability among the feature set. And then we in turn follow that. We put all our protocols in BT SCADA. We don't rely on a lot of third-party suppliers, but so that we can adopt to them when things change for our customers.
There are a variety of mechanisms that we have always relied on. We're continuing to look at new options for communication. There's always been this idea that you're communicating with outside systems. At the very basic level, you're looking at PLCs as an outside system. There's protocols to communicate with that. We, for a long time, over 20 years, have talked to systems like SAP, other things that are bringing in business data, and there's this need to not just other SCADA systems, but just business systems in general. So there's this, there are some various ideas that they talk about data lakes and other such things, which are, that's going to become more prevalent in the business, because it's a real idea that if you had all the data from all the different aspects of the business, you're going to make better decisions.
So how is SCADA integrating and helping to enable modern automation technologies? And here I'm thinking of the IT/OT technologies that you've addressed, smart devices, IIoT, edge computing, AI/ML, cloud computing, mobile devices, remote access.
Yeah, they're really influencing the system, but sometimes people get a little focused on those more so than the primary goal. So I don't want to dismiss them, because they are very important evolution of the technology. But I will have to say that the key focus should always be on OT. If you're manufacturing cars, that's what your focus should be, not on cloud computing. So you shouldn't be just looking at cloud computing as the goal. You should be looking at manufacturing cars as the goal. So that's our view. Now, if cloud computing helps you to that end, excellent.
Great. Anything to add? I enjoyed the keynote yesterday. You talked about features and functions that have advanced. Maybe you'd like to name a few to finish off.
Right, no, absolutely. We do have some key technologies which are unique in our business. We certainly have the multi-redundancy, allowing us to do data recovery, disaster recovery centers. We have the change sets, the offline configuration, the ability to keep a system running 24/7 by taking one system down at a time and bringing it back online without missing a beat. We are just introducing our new reporting package as of next hour. So it's a wonderful time to be around. We have a long list of features. It's hard to kind of pick off the top what we've got the best. I kind of relayed the top 25 or so that we've done in the last year, but overall, I think we have a database that recorded of over 1,500 features. So yeah, it's a fun time to be alive. We're trying to keep moving the product forward. We're always looking for problems to solve, and we keep hearing problems when you come to a nice event like ScadaFest. People talk to us, we hear what they say, and we've heard the comments sometimes before, and when we hear it again, it makes it more important to us because, yes, the problem is what we're really after. We're really trying to solve problems and not just create buzzwords.
One waxing philosophical thought is, in my time in SCADA, the cost of silicon has come down dramatically, as we all realize. Therefore, the amount of I/O has been much more cheaper to acquire. The cost of comms to manage that I/O and bring it back has dramatically dropped. And the ubiquity of networking has made it more accessible. Having said all that, one of the customers I noted in our conversation yesterday was Air Service Australia, and they keep their airspace safe. We have other customers in the air traffic control industry. You cannot connect to their system via the internet. That is blocked, right? For nation-state protection against bad actors, obviously very any ransomware maliciously. So there will always, unfortunately, is just thinking about all your questions, it's unfortunately that the bad people sometimes prevent us from achieving our greatest goals, greatest connectivity. Having said that, Air Service Australia, if you follow what they're doing, they're outsourcing some of the things they used to traditionally do with their own people, but they're managing it all as a managed service, again, with a high secure environment. So they're trying to walk the line and get the benefit of both the ubiquity and still be safeguarded against the bad actors. One of our developers said one time, when he was doing some security features, he said, it's amazing how much time we waste trying to put locks on things to keep bad people out, right? It's like your house with 19 locks on every door, and you have to come in and out and pull out this big thing of keys. It just seems sad that we have to spend so much of our time trying to safeguard against bad actors, but unfortunately, that's today's world.
Thank you very much, Glenn, Barry. Appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you very much, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.